Hi, this is Joyce from This That Creations, where I'll inspire you to be original in all you do and to just be you. Today we're going to get a cute project going from leftovers I have around my craft room. You'll need Mod Podge. I have Art Minds chalk, pink paint. I have a sage green acrylic and a folk art patina acrylic. You'll need 2 chip brushes, a sponge brush, 2 pair of scissors if you choose to make that design. I found these little shovels in a gift baggie like you get from Goodwill. So I've had those on hand for quite a while. Then I'm going to go ahead and use a piece of my scrap paper that I got out of one of those big books from Michael's. It was on clearance for $4.97, normally $19.99. So I hurried and grabbed that up. There wasn't any other too cute ones that I liked anyway. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set those aside. And I love having those scrapbook books because there's so many projects you can do with all those paper. We're going to go ahead and mix up our Art Minds chalk paint. And I'm just going to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of this chalk paint. I got it. It was on clearance for like $1.67. So I picked it up to try it. It is not my favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the piece of the scrap paper I would like to use. And I'm going to trace it to know where I need to paint inside. So I'm going to go ahead and start painting the pink. I'm just going to go around where where the placement of the scrap paper is. I also got like 2 different kinds of blue with this Art Minds chalk paint. I don't know, I'm just not a fan of it. I'd rather use Waverly or the folk art. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint my outside pieces with my sage green. And I'm only going to do 1 coat because I don't want it to go all, I don't want a heavy coat. I want the natural wood to go through, show through. I like to, once in a while, just go through my craft room and my little stash pieces come together and find a project and just find what I can come up with. So it's not really planned. I just kind of put the pieces together and go with it. And this is what I did on this project. And I suggest you do that too. It makes you feel good to get rid of some of your little stashes that you have set aside that you know one day you'll use. And so when you finally use them, you're like, woohoo! So I would suggest doing that. Now you're going to make sure you want to get the inner edges of this board as well, or any board you use. You could use a Dollar Tree board and paint over it. This one I got at the Goodwill for like 50 cents. And when I see a blank canvas, everybody knows I bring it home because I know I love blank canvases. So we're going to go ahead and Mod Podge where we want to lay our scrap paper. Then we'll go ahead and lay that down. And you want to firmly press it down. And usually I start from the middle and press out, but it was sticking pretty well. And because I'm putting a border around it is not as important. So I went ahead and I took my patina and I dry brushed it over my green to just add some color. You can choose any color you like. You can do the white, the yellow, black. I just wanted to go with something that I usually wouldn't use. And I decided the pink was a little too much for me, so I went ahead and put a little bit of dry brush white on there and gave it a little bit of texture and design, and I really like that. So now we're going to use our glue gun, and I got these lace pieces. I got a whole bunch of different colors at the Goodwill in one of those grab bags for like $1.99. So they're for sewing, they're trim, but I use them for crafts, of course, because that's what we do. We get creative. So I'm just going to make a border. And I was going to try to Mod Podge it and realize that, just kidding, that didn't work. So I decided to use my hot glue gun instead and just use a small amount since it seeps through the holes on the lace. So I'm just going to measure out where I want my border to be. And you could use any kind of ribbon you would like. But like I said, I got a huge bag of all different colors of this. And so I try to throw it in and use my projects. And you didn't have to do a border. You could use wood pieces, popsicle sticks for a border if you like. I just wanted to use some of my stuff that I had in my drawers and come up with something different. So I went ahead with this light purple that matched inside my flower scrap paper. And remember, you don't want to do too much because it does seep through with that glue. And trim off any of the excess you have. And you can come up with a whole bunch of different ideas. I'm deciding here where I want to place my shovels. And I decided I wanted to put them on opposite ends, facing different directions. And I was having trouble a little bit putting on there, so I had to adjust my little mini shovel to fit on there and hold it down for a minute with my Gorilla Glue, which I do love. But it did take a little bit to get that down. So sometimes you just have to mess with things and go with it and try to come up with another idea if it doesn't work, which I was thinking about putting a ribbon around it and tying the ribbon down on it. But I finally got them to stay in place, so hooray. You just got to mess around with it. You all know how that goes when you're doing crafts. Sometimes your ideas need a little bit of adjustment, and you just figure it out as you go. And this is what I was doing. But I almost, yeah, you know how it goes. So I finally got that one down. And like I said, I got those at the Goodwill, so I don't know where else you can get them. I'm sure you can get them at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, but I got them in a goodie bag. Now I'm looking around the rest of my room to see if there's anything else I want to add on there. And I found these little flowers that I had in my little bucket of extras. I'll show you those in a moment. I'm a little ahead of myself. But I would challenge anybody just to go through their craft room and find pieces and stuff that you know you want to use, but you haven't used yet, and is just kind of collecting, and come up with a project with them. It's super fun to do that, and you feel good about it afterwards. So I cut out this little piece of paper that says Full Bloom on it, and I'm deciding where I want it. And then I decided to put this flower on the side and was wondering if I wanted to do on every corner, and I decided that'd be too much. I just wanted a little bit of character. So I went ahead and put this white flower on the corner and deciding where I want to put my other little piece of scrap paper. And that's it. Now on the end you will see I decided where I wanted to put my scrap paper. After I got done with the project and laid it down, I decided I did want to put it on there, and the pictures will show that in the back. So get creative, go through your craft room and put some pieces together, and have a good day. Thank you.